Welcome to our channel. Today we are diving into a crucial piece of legislation that aims to protect some of the most helpless communities in India. The Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989, often referred to as the SC/ST Act. This act plays a vital role in safeguarding the rights and dignity of the scheduled castes or SCs and scheduled tribes as ST against discrimination and atrocities. Imagine being denied entry to a temple because of your caste or facing violence for simply trying to live your life with dignity. These are not just hypothetical scenarios but harsh realities faced by many. The SC/ST Act was enacted to address such injustices and ensure that no one is subject to such treatment due to the caste or tribe. In today's video, we'll cover first the background and objectives of the SC/ST Act, 2. Key provisions and protections under the Act, 3. Relevant case laws and their implications, 4. Recent updates and amendments, 5. A conclusion and recap of key points. The SC/ST Act was introduced in 1989 to prevent atrocities against members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. These communities have historically faced several social discrimination and violence. The primary objective is to protect those communities from discrimination, humiliation and violence, ensuring their rights and dignity. India has a long history of caste-based discrimination, where lower castes, particularly SCs and STs, have been marginalized and subjected to inhuman treatment. This discrimination infused various aspects of life, including access to education, employment and basic amenities. The SC/ST Act emerged as a response to the persistent injustices faced by these communities. The objective of this act first is the protection against atrocities. This act aims to protect SCs and STs from various forms of atrocities, including physical violence, social ostracism, and economic exploitation. Second is the deterrence. By prescribing stringent punishments for perpetrators, the act seeks to deter potential offenders. The third is the empowerment. It aims to empower SCs and STs by ensuring their rights are recognized and upheld, fostering a sense of security and equality. The SC/ST Act defines various offences as atrocities, including physical harm, sexual exploitation, denial of customary rights, and economic exploitation. It provides stringent punishments for offenders and mandates special courts for speedy trials. Here are some key provisions. Section 3. This section lists the specific actions that are considered atrocities, such as forcing SC/ST individuals to eat or drink offensive substances. Second is parading them naked or painted faces. 3 is assaulting or sexually exploiting SC/ST women. 4 is depriving SC/ST individuals of the land. 5 is forcing SC/ST individuals into bonded labor. Section 4 is this section addresses the neglect of duties by public servants. If a public servant who is supposed to prevent atrocities fails to perform their duties, they can be penalized under this section. This ensures accountability among law enforcement officials and public servants. Section 14. This section mandates the establishment of exclusive special courts for the trial of offences under this act. These courts ensure that cases are handled swiftly and efficiently without unnecessary delays. Section 18. This section prohibits the granting of anticipatory bail to the accused under this act, emphasizing the seriousness of the offences and ensuring that the perpetrators do not evade justice. Finally, this act also includes provisions for the protection of victims and witnesses. It mandates the state to provide adequate protection to victims, their dependents and witnesses against any kind of intimidation or harassment. Several landmark judgments have shaped the interpretation and implementation of the SC/ST Act. These cases highlight the judiciary's stance on the protection of SC/ST communities and enforcement of the Act. For example, in the first case law is State of Karnataka versus Appu Bala Ingle. In this case, the Supreme Court emphasized the importance of the SC/ST Act in protecting the dignity of SC/ST individuals. The court held that any violation of this right should be met with stringent action. This case set a precedent for the strict enforcement of the Act to ensure the protection of SC/ST communities. Second case law is Subhash Kashinath Mahajan versus State of Maharashtra. This case dealt with the misuse of the Act and led to significant controversies. The Supreme Court issued guidelines to prevent the filing of false cases under the Act, which included conducting a preliminary inquiry before registering an FIR and obtaining approval from a senior police officer before arresting the accused. However, this decision was met with widespread criticism and led to protests from various quarters. The third case law is Union of India versus State of Maharashtra. In response to the backlash, the government amended the Act to nullify the Supreme Court's guidelines in the Subhash Kashinath Mahajan case. The amendment reinstated the mandatory arrest provisions and removed the requirement for any preliminary inquiry. This amendment, upheld by the Supreme Court, reinforced the original intent of the Act to provide robust protection to SC/ST individuals. The SC/ST Act has undergone amendments to address emerging issues and strengthen its provisions. The 2015 amendment included new offences, expanded the scope of existing offences, and introduced provisions for the rights of victims and witnesses. The third is the rights of victims and witnesses. The amendment introduced various provisions for the rights of victims and witnesses, including the rights to be heard during proceedings and the right to protection against intimidation or harassment. The 2018 amendment, it reinstated the mandatory arrest. The amendment overturned the Supreme Court's guidelines in the Subhash Kashinath Mahajan case and reinstated the mandatory arrest provisions. This ensured that offenders could not evade justice through anticipatory bail. Second was the no preliminary inquiry. The amendment removed the requirement for preliminary inquiry before registering an FIR, ensuring victims could seek immediate redressal without procedural delays. Recent developments have focused on the effective implementation of the Act and addressing challenges in its enforcement. For instance, various state governments have issued directives to ensure the proper functioning of special courts and the protection of victims and witnesses. Additionally, there have been efforts to raise awareness about the Act and its provisions among the public and law enforcement agencies. To recap what we have discussed in this video, first, background and objectives. The SC/ST Act aims to protect SC/ST communities from discrimination and violence, addressing historical injustice. Second is the key provisions. The Act defines atrocities, prescribes stringent punishments, and mandates special courts for speedy trials. It also includes provisions for the protection of victims and witnesses. Third is the case laws. Landmark judgments like the State of Karnataka versus Appu Bala Ingle and Subhash Kashinath Mahajan versus State of Maharashtra have shaped the Act's interpretation and enforcement. Fourth is the recent updates. Amendments in the 2015 and 2018 have strengthened the Act's provisions, ensuring its effectiveness in protecting SC/ST individuals. To conclude, the SC/ST Act is a vital tool in the fight against caste-based discrimination and violence. It ensures the rights and dignity of SC/ST communities are upheld, and any violation of these rights is met with stringent action. Understanding this Act is crucial for fostering a more just and equitable society. It is essential to continue raising awareness about the Act, ensuring its proper implementation and addressing any challenges that arise in its enforcement. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more such content. Let's work together to spread awareness and ensure justice for all. Take care and bye-bye.